Do you have more than 2 credit cards, or perhaps do you find yourself spending a lot of time trying to maximize all of your credit cards' benefits and perks? Me too. I'm Key, and since 2017, I've had well over 50 plus credit cards in my collection. Right now, I actually have over 10 credit cards that have perks and benefits with varying frequencies. I have perks that are monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and card member year. It's a lot. Before we get started, I want to ask you, how do you currently keep track of all of your credit card benefits and make sure you're maximizing all of your credit card rewards? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Um, so first today, I'm actually going to share 2 free resources that you can start to implement to make sure that you're utilizing your credit card benefits and perks to their maximum value. I'm really excited, and I hope that you find a lot of value in everything that I'm going to share with you today. So, starting things off with something called Apple Reminders. I'm going to just start sharing my screen. Perfect. So, within Apple Reminders, I'm going to show you how to walk through all of this. I've actually set up a credit card perks tracker for myself. You'll see here on my cover sheet that I have every single bank that I do business with, followed by the card and the annual fee that I'm currently paying. So, for example, American Express, I have all my cards listed, so on and so forth, all the way down through the bottom here. Now, I'm going to just navigate into one of these banks. I'm going to just go into US Bank just to show you what each of these looks like. And if you're anything like me, I like to have one list per bank that I do business with just to keep things easier and to make my tracker sheet, this holistic view come together pretty nicely. So I'm going to go into US Bank, like I mentioned. And simply before I show you how to set this up, just want to show you what it looks like. Under US Bank, I have 3 credit cards with US Bank, totaling $895 in annual fees. If you're interested in knowing how many annual fees I'm paying right now, you can tally that up while I kind of go through this, or you can check out the video that I'll definitely link above after this recording. Now, for example, I have my US Bank Altitude Reserve card. There's kind of 3 main benefits that this card comes with. One of which is global entry and pre-TSA. The next one is a travel and dining credit that comes on a card member year basis. And then lastly is a priority pass with restaurant access. Now, each of these 3 items here, I like to add in as much detail as possible, and I'll go through that in a couple of minutes here. But for example, the global entry is something that's only valid every 4 years on the card. So I'm show you how to set that up utilizing Apple Reminders. So that way you can get it out of your brain and never have to worry about missing out on any added value that these cards provide. Same thing with the travel credit, and likewise with the priority pass. This year is something new that I'm going to actually be implementing. I'm just going to break this down a little bit. This card comes with 8 visits. So what I'm going to do is every time I make a visit to one of these priority pass restaurants, I'm actually going to list this here, but I'm also going to make note of which priority pass I actually visit by putting it in the notes. So for example, if I go to like a Boston restaurant, I'll go ahead and put that in here. So that way I can keep track and I could share with you at the end of the year, perhaps how many lounges and priority pass restaurants I've gone to. So I hope that makes sense so far. This is how I'm kind of utilizing everything and making sure that I'm not missing out on anything. Really quick is right now I'm showing you the list view of Apple Reminders. There's actually 2 different views. This is the list view. This is kind of the default view. But if you're in Apple Reminders, if you go to the top of your screen and select View, and if you select As Columns, it'll kind of change to this Kanban type of view. This is the view that I like after I have all of this set up. I just find it's a little bit easier on my eyes. But this is a view that I like, and this is the view that I have all of my cards set up as right now. Perfect. So how the heck do we set this thing up? First and foremost, you'll want to come down to add a list. From here, you can give this a name. And you can give it a color. One of my favorite colors is orange. And you can also give it an emoji or an icon. For this, I'm going to just select a credit card here. Click OK. Now, what you'll want to do is utilize this sections button off to the top right. And each section should be the name of one of your credit cards that you have in your collection. So in my example, I'm going to use the Venture X as the card that we'll go through. After I have that section, actually, excuse me, as you can build out these sections for each of the cards that you have. And you kind of repeat this process on and on until you have your full list of cards. Perfect. Now that I kind of have a list here, you can kind of start adding in those benefits and perks that I talked about a couple of seconds ago. So for example, on the Venture X credit card, like many credit cards, it comes with global entry and a pre-TSA benefit. Now this is up to $120. So I like to add that in under the text. And you'll notice under date, you have some options here. So in my example, and just so you're aware, global entry is something that on most credit cards, you can actually only use this benefit every 4 years. So I like to just come in here and let's say I use this credit today on January 5th. I can then come under this eye icon, this information icon off to the right, and I can set up a reminder. So that way I can have it repeat every 4 years. And I'm just going to select yearly and change this to 4. So that way I know that I've already used this benefit. I can then just check it off my list here and it'll send me a reminder 4 years from now, or alternatively, it'll send me a reminder January 5th, 2029. I'm going to kind of continue on building out my list of perks here. So there's a anniversary. Every single year, they give out 10,000 bonus points. And again, for the date, I would actually put in your anniversary date. So in my example, let's just say next year, I can expect those 10,000 miles to be in my account. And then also the Venture X credit card comes with a travel credit. This is a $300 travel credit. So I like to, anytime there's like a credit like this, I always like to put like a 0 and then followed by the total. So that way, if I don't spend all $300 at once, I can come in here like maybe every month or something like that and just say, okay, I used $100 or I used $49 or $5.60, something like that, and kind of do that. Now, this travel credit on the Venture X credit card is also based on your card member anniversary date. So in my example, I would have until the 5th of January next year to utilize that. And that's the date I'd put in here. Now, what I love about utilizing this Apple Reminders is a variety of different things kind of as you're building this out with all your different perks. A lot of these cards have similar benefits, right? So what I like to do, you can actually copy. So all I did was select my global entry that I had already written on the Venture X card. And if I come down here to like maybe my next credit card and it has that same exact benefit, I can actually just copy paste it down in here. So kind of a shortcut or a hack if you have multiple cards with similar benefits. Same thing with travel credits and things like that. You can simply just copy paste it, as many times as needed. Now, one thing I do want to show before moving on here is showing you that not only can you put in, like in my example, I have 8 visits that I can do with a priority pass on one of my cards. You can also make subtasks here. So that way you can track those. So for example, if I wanted to do like a listing under the priority pass, I can list out all of the visits that I get just by selecting, right clicking, and then going to indent reminder. So that way I can now see I have visits under my priority pass here. So I'm going to collapse this down. and you'll be able to see that I have multiple visits here. So again, let me just make visit 2, visit 3. Perfect. So let's just say I have a priority pass that gives me 4 visits per year. I can then just track those in my spreadsheet, or excuse me, in my tracker, just like so. So after I complete a visit, I can just simply check it off. Okay. Now, you'd kind of repeat this process for all of the cards that have benefits and perks in your collection, but I'll just say, like, for example, I'm kind of all done with this tracking sheet. One thing you'll definitely want to do in order to use this year over year is actually come in to save this as a template. So the reason why you'd want to do this, and I'm going to use one of my examples up here. I'll use other banks, for example. What you'll want to do is select your list. You'll want to come up to view, or excuse me, to file, and you'll want to do save as a template. And the reason why you do that is, so let's just say we fast forward to 2026, for example, and I'm ready to start my tracker sheet for 2026. Now, when I come to add list, I can go under templates and just select which ones I want to roll into 2026. So for example, other banks, I'll go ahead and create a list. So in 2026, now all I have to do is kind of roll some of these dates forward here to maybe 2027, for example. And, kind of a shortcut way to kind of set this up once and use it many years, year over year. All right, perfect. So I wanted to just show Apple reminders. My final thoughts on this is, I think this is very beneficial for all of the cards, right? Just to kind of take this stuff out of your brain and list them out. I'm hoping, you don't have 50 plus credit cards like I have, but again, just trying to simplify your life. Set this up one time and you'll never have to worry about it again. And you'll never have to worry about the banks kind of making you a part of their breakage calculations, right? Because these banks don't want you maximizing the benefits and perks that come along with these credit cards. All right. So just going to show one last time the final result. After you kind of build all this out, you'll have a full tracking sheet that'll either look exactly like mine with one by bank. So it'll have your full tracking sheet and it's listed by bank, or you'll just have one sheet that has all of your credit cards. Maybe it'll look something like this, and you'll have all of your credit cards listed here. What's nice also, the last thing I'll mention is that if you're utilizing Apple calendars as well, all of these reminders are going to be auto synced into your Apple calendar as well. So it'll show up, if you have something due today on the 5th of January, it'll show up as an item in your calendar. All right. So I hope you learned something new, and I hope you consider utilizing this in your process and in your life for maximizing these credit card benefits. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. But I'm going to show you one more free tool that you can also use. Okay. So the last tool that I want to share today is something called Travel Freely. So Travel Freely is something that I've been utilizing since 2019. And although this video is not sponsored and I don't have any sponsorships yet on my YouTube channel, this is something that I've just utilized in my personal life to kind of help me track all of my credit cards that I've acquired over the years. So number one, what I like about it is that it does not require you to log into any of your banks or rewards programs to utilize it. Number two, I think it's very easy and it's very simplistic to use. So once you have a Travel Freely account, and actually, even before doing that, I have a referral link to Travel Freely in the description box down below. So start 2025 off right and start getting organized with your credit cards and utilize Travel Freely. But once you have your account set up, all you have to do is come under My Cards and select Add a New Card. So let's just say I got approved today for a Chase Sapphire Reserve. That's not a card that I currently have, but let's just say I got approved for that card today. I can simply come in here and select January 5th, 2025. It's automatically going to pull the bonus in, but let's just say perhaps you got an elevated sign-up bonus on this card, maybe a 75,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points bonus that you're eligible for. You can go ahead and add that in instead of the standard 60,000 point offer. I'm just going to leave it at 60,000. It's going to automatically calculate the date that the minimum spending requirement is due, so you get your sign-up bonus here. And it's also going to tell you how much you need to spend. Again, this is all customizable, so perhaps the minimum spending is a bit different based on the offer you got. You can also change this. Under more options, you have a whole bunch of things that you can list here. Perhaps you want to put the last couple digits of your card just to remember it, or maybe you want to say, you've added an authorized user, something like that. You can kind of add all those notes in here. Now, once you add this in, you can click save, and you'll notice it adds to your full list of cards here. What I like about it is that once you've kind of completed a minimum spending requirement, like I have for my business gold credit card that I got in November, you can come in under these three dots over here, select edit, and under the bonus, just check off this bonus saying, yes, I did receive this bonus, and yes, I would like it to be marked as done on my list. You can go ahead and save that. And you'll notice that it went from this highlighted green color to a normal color here. And you'll notice that the status changed to my bonus has been achieved. So I really, really like Travel Freely. I'm going to kind of get rid of this card because I actually don't have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. What I really like about Travel Freely is a lot of different things. It's super simplistic. You can track cards for multiple different people in your family if you are kind of the person that does all their credit card rewards tracking. But also, if the Chase 524 rule is of importance to you, you can track which cards are counting towards that 524 rule simply by just highlighting over the icon here as well. All right. So I mentioned this is like a one-stop shop. I hope that you start to utilize Travel Freely in 2025 to kind of help track all of your credit cards and start getting organized, which I think is one of the paramount rules in credit card rewards and travel rewards. And besides, I've been utilizing this for 6+ years. So hopefully you find that I am a credible source here. Thank you so much for allowing me to share 2 free resources that you can use to maximize your credit card perks and benefits that you get on your cards. As I mentioned, I'm very much interested in understanding how you currently track your credit card benefits and perks. Because at the end of the day, I really just want you to win, and I want you to beat these banks in maximizing all of these rewards points and programs. So thank you so much for your time. Be sure to check out other videos on my channel. And if you're curious about what cards I have in my wallet, come back to my channel on Thursday, January 9th. Wednesday, January 8th, where I'll be launching a video that shows all the cards that I'll have in my wallet for January of 2025. All right. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. I'm now going to just go through Q&A here. I'm going to start right at the top. I appreciate y'all coming through. It looks like there's 20 people here. Let me know if you found value in me going through that. Hopefully you'll need to watch the recording. Like if you have 2 screens or something like that, you'll want to make sure that, you kind of have up this recording and have up your Apple reminders, but also signing up for Travel Freely as you kind of go through this. So let me go through these comments here. Joe, my guy, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. John, thanks for coming through. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Points Precision. Check out Points Precision. He writes a blog. I love it. I have the automatic blog reminders going into my email. Looks like I have a question here. What's the best perk from all of your credit cards? Dang, tough question for a Sunday. Um, hmm, that's tough. I'm gonna pull up my tracker sheet and just go through. I'm having kind of like a brain fart here. So let me just go through this tracker sheet real quick and see what I can come up with. Okay, there's some good stuff in here. Okay, I'm gonna go with two things, Joe. I'm going to go with one is return protection and extended warranty. So I know that's not probably what you were going for, but I've had a lot of experience utilizing the insurances and things like that that come along cards, such as like the American Express Business Platinum card or even the Chase Ritz Carlton card, for example, and many others, right? Um, but the extended warranty protection has definitely saved me quite a bit. I've broken my headphones, and as long as I just submit a claim within the time period, I've had no issue getting reimbursed for some of those things. So highly recommend if you're having some larger charges, make sure you're putting those on cards where there is a as a benefit, such as that extended warranty. So hopefully that helps. Um, I think what you actually wanted me to answer this was like a true perk or a true benefit. I'll actually go with Clear. I am in the airport at least maybe twice a month. So having Clear and I guess pre TSA as well just allows me to like zip right through. And I'm usually working as well. So allows me just to get back on my laptop, get back on the calls as soon as possible after going through TSA. So thanks for the question. Hey, Brandon. Okay. Joe uses max rewards, travel freely, and card pointers. Okay. Okay. So some of these are free, right? I think some of them have to have a paid subscription too. Um, I'll have to check some of these out. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. Oh, John, that's so nice. Thank you so much, John. Yes, for all your support, I am so appreciative. This is my 369th day on YouTube, and to be monetized is beyond words. Very excited. Didn't really have that in the plans, so appreciate your generosity. More importantly, appreciate you coming in, spending your time listening to me, and hopefully learning something new. So very much appreciative of all of that. Thank you. John uses max rewards and travel freely. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness. Joe, you're the best. You're the best. Thank you, John and Joe. Brandon's utilizing a spreadsheet. Brandon, I'd love to see the spreadsheet if you don't mind sharing it with me. In the description, I have my email address. I would love to see it. I'm always trying to get better and continuously improve. How I'm tracking these different things and what's working for other people. So feel free to share that with me. Okay. Points Precision is utilizing a spreadsheet plus calendar notifications. Okay. And yeah, I understand. I don't want to talk bad about anyone's software. But yeah, I don't love having to sign in with my username and password to pretty much anything. I use a password manager. So I try to only remember that one password, and from there, trust that they're doing the right thing with my information. But yeah, I don't love having third parties have my information like that. Okay. DC Gemini, what's going on? Perfect, perfect. Drop those questions. I'm just going through the chat right now. For those that maybe just jumped in, I went ahead and showed cased earlier. Um, Apple reminders for creating a credit card tracker sheet. And also, I showed how to utilize Travel Freely. So, two completely free resources that you can implement into your life to make sure that you are beating the banks, right? And utilizing all the things on your cards. I appreciate the commentary, John. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. If there's no more questions, I did write down some questions from some of my comments as well. So I'll go through those after I go through all of these. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it. What's my first trip of 2025? So in a couple of weeks, I will be in LA, California, for about a week for some training at work. So that'll be my first trip of 2025. And that's a work paid trip. My first points and miles trip will be to Key West, Florida, also at the end of this month. So that'll be my first points and miles trip. In 2024, just so you guys know, I spent 1.7 million credit card points on all of my trips. So we'll see. We'll see what 2025 has in store for sure. Joe, I'm glad you found it so valuable. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Lisa, thank you so much. I'm so glad I came across your YouTube channel. Chad, you guys are killing me. John, Joe, Chad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Philmo's the best. Got to meet Philmo in New Orleans. And awesome. I'm glad that he's using Travel Freely. It really does help out. All right, keep dropping those questions. Keep dropping those questions if you have any. Just as a reminder, this Wednesday, January 8th, I will be launching a video sharing every card that's in my wallet for the year thus far, as well as why it's in my wallet. So I think it's important that we learn how to build out a wallet that's good for everyday use. So Wednesday, January 8th, mark your calendars for that. Brandon, do I have any international trips planned for 2025? So I did, but I actually have to cancel it. So one of my nephews plays soccer, and I don't know about y'all, but when I was, younger, I'd never had the opportunity to play anything internationally. Kids these days are so fortunate. He's actually playing in a soccer tournament in London, and I have it booked. But I actually did get a new job, so I won't be able to make it to the tournament, which I am completely bummed about. So, although I have it planned and I have everything booked, I do have to cancel that pretty soon here. So, yes, but no. Yes, but no. Oh, also, sorry, yeah. So even though I'm canceling that, I'm also going to Mexico in April as well. So 2 international trips at least for this year. Hey, everybody. I love seeing some new names. I don't think I've ever seen you on the channel before. Awesome. Glad you love Travel Freely as well. That's amazing. Thank you. Awesome. I'm glad y'all found it so valuable, what we kind of covered here earlier. Awesome, Joe. So yeah, my favorite perks are those insurances that you get, but also the clear benefit. Sledge. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Sledge. Luxury black or luxury gold card. Which is next? You know the answer. None of them. That card is both of those cards are trash. Absolute trash. So neither nor. Yeah, hit the like button. Please do. Really appreciate it. Anthony, my guy. Thank you so much. That's really kind. You guys are Too much today. Question is, have you ever thought about doing credit card consultations? Yeah, I've done them for a number of people. I won't put anybody on blast, but if you check the description box below this video and all of my videos on YouTube, I have my personal email address in there. Feel free to hit me up anytime you have questions. There is no cost for you to do so. I really do love talking about credit cards and trips and just utilizing your points and miles and all that stuff. So please let me know how I can help you out. More than happy to. Um, and yeah, thank you. I don't know how long I'll be able to sustain it, but I'll do my best to get it done. Oh man. All right. All right. Too much. Y'all are too much. Will I be having a channel membership? Lisa, I haven't really thought about it. So I just became monetized at the beginning of January, so 4 days ago. I haven't really thought about it yet. However, if I do decide to have a YouTube channel membership, I just want to put some thought into it and I want to make sure that whatever I provide to you is of value. So not sure yet. But maybe that's something I consider for the future. All right. It looks like I came to the bottom of the question. So I wrote down a couple of other questions right here. I use a Remarkable tablet, kind of getting a little bit off topic, but also in the description box, I have all of my favorite like tech gadgets, things I travel with, and my favorite credit cards in the description box. So take a look. If you guys need some ideas or future gift ideas for folks that like traveling. So, anyways, in my notes here, I need some help. I won't lie to you. I have 78,000 city thank you points that are going to expire on February 5th of this year. So, a couple things. I did a video. Let me just see. I don't even know when I did that video. Let me just check really quick. I did a video. About 2 months ago titled Closing a Credit Card the Right Way. And in that, I talk about the process that you need to consider before closing out a card. Now, I learned something new in that I wasn't aware that Citi didn't allow you to combine your credit limits before closing out a card. So I went from 4 Citi cards down to 2. And they didn't let me combine my credit limits with those. But I also learned, I think Dugras had told me that he thought that my points that I had earned on the cards that I was closing would also expire and have an expiration date. He was actually right. So thank you, Dugras, if you're watching. I appreciate you. So yes, I have 78,000 Citi thank you points that are going to expire in February. So what should I do with those points? Should I transfer them? They have a lot of transfer partners. JetBlue kind of is on the top of my list. I've already booked some preferred hotels utilizing points. I don't really need any more preferred hotels points yet. Or should I just book stuff through the travel portal, like rental cars and things like that I know I'll need for the rest of the year? I don't know. Please let me know. What should I do with those Citi thank you points? I genuinely don't know. But I need to decide quick because Citi is not getting them back. Yes, I'm glad you learned something new. Check out my 2025 predictions video that I did also on the first of the year, I believe. One of my predictions is that Citi is actually going to get rid of this expiration thing. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. I hope they do before February, selfishly. But yeah, they expire if you cancel your card or if you move them from one member to another. They have a 90-day clock. So 90 days before they start to expire. So 78,000 Citi thank you points. What the heck? What should I do with them? All right. Other questions that I had from the channel that I wanted to just answer here. Which credit card do I use for food purchases? Um, I took this in kind of two different routes. First of which I took food as dining out. For the most part, I try to use my Wells Fargo autograph card for stuff like that, and dining out. But also I've been utilizing the Delta Business Platinum card because it comes with a $10 Resi credit. So I've kind of been utilizing both of those cards for dining out. Important to note, both of those cards I have linked to either Built Rewards dining or also JetBlue because I don't have a JetBlue credit card. So I try to have multiple stacking opportunities for my credit cards. Cool. Also, food purchases. I wasn't sure if this person meant like supermarkets, grocery stores, etc. If they did, then I utilize my US Bank Altitude Reserve credit card because most of those places usually take Apple Pay. And it's super easy for me to just utilize that. Or even easier, I just use my Venture X credit card, a flat 2 points per dollar on everything. Awesome. 1 second. Getting over a cold, or I don't know, just getting sick. I don't exactly know what's going on. Okay. Next question. What's the point of having so many credit cards? Someone asked me this question and it was asked probably 2 or 3 times throughout the year. Really, the answer is I genuinely love traveling. And if I can find a way to, spend the money I'm already going to spend, right, on, stuff around the house or groceries or gas or whatever, and then get points or bonuses on top of that, like, why not? So I find it incredibly valuable to always kind of be increasing, or excuse me, maximizing my spend on credit cards to be able to travel and do the things that I do right now. So that's probably why I have so many credit cards. At this point, let me check Travel Freely. Let me bring that back up. I'm curious. Um, let's see how many cards I've had. Yeah, 91 cards. I've had 91 cards in my life. Which is crazy. 91 cards here. Let me see if I can show more than that. Yeah, perfect. So I've had 91 cards in my life. Honestly, I think it's pretty clear in 2025 I'm going to hit the 100 number for sure. So now it's just like how many cards can I get before someone tells me no kind of thing. So that's why I have so many. I like the rewards that come along with them. I like being able to maximize and kind of um, you know, be able to have some really cool experiences because of it. Question from Rodrigo. What are your thoughts on the Wyndham Business Earner credit card lately? Are you keeping it? This is a great question. I just passed my anniversary on Wyndham, and by having the card, you get 15,000 points at your card member anniversary date. So I got the card 12/19 of 2023. I have not seen those Wyndham points hit my account yet. So honestly, I've kind of just been waiting for that in order to kind of decide if I'm going to keep or cancel it. This card's kind of gone through a lot of changes. Starting in 2025, you're not going to be able to match your Wyndham Diamond status over to Caesars. And that is a huge benefit because by having that Caesar status, you get a $100 dining credit at some of the, best restaurants in Las Vegas. So, huge detriment, and a lot of other changes that are going on with the Wyndham Business credit card specifically. So, will I keep it? I'm not sure. But I do know that even if I cancel it, I'm going to wait until those 15,000 Wyndham rewards points hits my account before I even consider canceling it. So hopefully that makes sense, Rodrigo. Fat Stacks, what's going on, man? Um, if you could only be approved for one card, oh, in 2025, what would it be? So this is a nightmare question. Only one card. One card. Um, hmm. I'm going to go with the Barclays American Airlines card. And I'm saying that because that card is definitely going to go away after this year. It's going to probably be moved automatically over to Citibank. And I just like having cards that are no longer able to be had. So that's probably the card I'd select if I could only be approved for one card. Um, yeah. Thanks for the question. Out of all the cards you have, which design do you like the most? Um, what a question. What a good question. I've never thought about it like that. But I'm gonna go with the Discover It credit card, and I'm just looking to pull it out of my portfolio. If you guys need one of these to stay organized, again, check the description box. This is definitely one of those links that I have. I think it's like $3 or $4 on Amazon. So grab one so that way you're not having to lose your cards around your house. Because that's what I was doing before I got this thing. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Discover It credit card, and the reason why I like it, the design, is because you can change this design as often as you'd like. So right now I have like the black hands, or the diversity hands here, but I've had like the Rainbow Pride card. I've had you can put like your initials on the card, all sorts of different things. You can do your favorite sports team, and you can change that as often as you'd like. So that's probably the card that I like the most. Second part of your question is, have you ever been tempted to apply for a credit card because of an awesome design? Hmm. Um, no, I don't think so. Um, I don't think so. I'm gonna say that with an asterisk because back when I applied for the Chase Ritz Carlton card, it was one of the heaviest cards in the world. Like when you dropped it, it made a distinctive like clanking sound. So I think for sure that's probably one of the cards I maybe applied for, just because, not necessarily the design, but just because of like how ridiculous that card was. And like when you'd hand it to people, like their hand would like noticeably like drop like as you're handing it off. So I don't know, super nerdy, but that's probably the card if I ever did that. Hey Stan, I appreciate you stopping in. This is awesome. Congrats on your first live of 2025. Thank you. How many, oh excuse me, how may Ritz cards, how, okay, I think you meant how many Ritz cards would be in your end game credit card setup? And thank you for the super chat. All of y'all are ridiculous. Stan, Chad, John, Joe, if I forgot anybody, Anthony, Sledge, thank you so much. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you so much. So, how many Ritz cards would be in my end game credit card setup? Let me think about that. Right now, I have two Ritz Carlton cards, and let me just show. I'm going to go back to the Apple reminders here and just showcase my tracker here. So I have two Ritz Carlton cards right now, and you can see I've already started, because it's this card especially has a incidental airline credit that's every calendar year. You can see I've already put to use my 2025 credits. So it's January 5th, and I am not wasting any time with that at all. So how many Ritz Carlton cards would be in my endgame setup? It really comes down to how many free night, or not free nights. I'm banning free night certificates from my vocabulary. How many certificates, hotel certificates I want. I believe I stayed at 6 Marriotts last year, and some of those weren't like upper echelon Marriotts by any means, but my favorite Marriott brand is the Autograph Collection, followed by St. Regis. So I would say 3 Ritz-Carlton cards would be probably in my endgame setup. And that's just simply for those hotel certificates. Great question, Stan. Great question. Great question. I love that one. All right. Again, I'm at the bottom of all the questions. If you're just joining in, please be sure to watch this replay. I covered 2 free things that you can start to implement in order to maximize all of your credit card benefits and perks that have ridiculous time frequencies, monthly, annually, semi-annually, etc. I also shared with you all that I use Travel Freely and that I need your help. How am I going to spend 78,000 Citi thank you rewards, Citi thank you points that are expiring this time next month? So I really need you. Please let me know how I can spend those down and or how I should use them, if I should transfer them out. All right. More questions I got from the channel is, how often do I apply for a new credit card? How often do I apply for a new credit card? This is another question that was asked multiple times throughout the year. For me, it's typically once a month. I got 9 credit cards last year. So roughly 1 per month. I say roughly because I have a couple times per year where some of my larger expenses are due kind of all at once. So in March, I have like my homeowner's insurance, my taxes, and all sorts of other things that are due. So sometimes I'll get credit cards like at the end of February, maybe like 3 or 4 different credit cards. So that way I can meet those minimum spending with some of those charges that I just mentioned. So I don't know. Do you guys do the same thing? Do you guys plan to have a application strategy like that, like once per month or something like that? I'd be interested to know for sure. Hi, excuse me for a second. Okay. All right. I have one final question and then I'll go back through the chat to make sure I covered everything. What's in store for Q1 of 2025? Thank you for asking the question. I forgot to write down who asked me that question. But a couple things. Continuing my journey of traveling at least once per month. So in January, I'm going to California. February, I'm going to Florida. March, I am planning on going to, where am I going in March? I'm just pulling up my calendar quick. March, I am planning on, I actually don't have anything planned for March yet. We'll see. Maybe I go to the March Madness tournament or something like that. We'll see what I have in store. So continuing traveling at least 1 time per month, and that's utilizing credit card points and miles predominantly. I like to use them up. I am not someone that likes to have like a huge balance of points on hand. Unless, right, I have a couple 100,000 of points that I like to use just in case, funerals, family members need them, etc. Also for Q1, I'm starting a brand new job starting tomorrow, Monday. So I am very excited to learn a brand new skill set that I think will help me, keep maturing this channel. Speaking of the channel, I plan to launch 1 video for the next 90 days. So 1 video per week, excuse me. And in addition to that, having a more routine schedule. So I'll plan on going live the first Sunday of every month. So, today was an example of that, next month, and then in March as well. So appreciate if you guys want to join those lives. Would love to see you guys come out for that. And for Q1, just continue getting better at storytelling. I think I mentioned that in one of my more recent videos. I want to make sure that every time I release a video that we're learning something together, or if I'm, you guys are giving me feedback. I take the feedback very seriously, and I really do appreciate, the feedback, especially, some of the nitpicky stuff. I love it. Please tell me how I can be better. Please tell me if there's something that you want me to learn so I can showcase to you all. So appreciate it. Ian, thank you so much. Ian, I think you're in Boston. I'm in Rhode Island. We're definitely going to meet up at Logan one of these days for sure. Awesome. Jelani, I don't think I've seen your name before. Please be sure to watch this recording. I gave some really good information that some of the people here seem to value. So please check it out as you do the recording. And I would love to have you subscribe, but no obligation until I earn your trust. Thank you, Jelani. Question here. Thank you for all of the info. Can you do a strategy, tips, and how-to video on how to obtain credit cards? You've had 50. I've actually had over 90. I was showing that I had over 90 credit cards. How did you do it? You must have some secret sauce to teach. Okay, Mega Prime. I definitely do have a full playlist on my channel, and let me pull up my channel really quick just so we can see that. On my channel, I actually do have a playlist where I showcase all of my strategy and even just cards that are in my wallet and top tips. You may want to check out, I like the top tips. I don't think a lot of people like the top tips, but check out this video, this playlist first, and then I'd move into the strategy. That may help you. You may find some value in that. But yeah, I definitely am one of the queens of credit card approvals for sure. Having over 90 cards, I will definitely start to showcase my expertise a little bit more. I think just, being on YouTube for the first year, I've just gained a different level of confidence, and absolutely, I'll teach the secret sauce, I guess. I definitely. John, collaboration video? I'd love to. You guys are too kind with these super chats. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This is my first time ever getting super chats, and even to just get one is crazy, but I think we're at close to 10. So greatly appreciate it, and I'm glad you found value in the conversation today. That's ultimately what matters to me most. Happy New Year, Lonnie. Safe travels. I know you're a travel machine as well, so safe travels. Okay. Okay, Jake, I love this question, and I'm gonna go till 30 after, so 6 more minutes. So get those questions in. I'm not trying to drag things out on a Sunday for you all. Watch the replay, and yeah, let me answer these last couple questions here. So, what airline do you use for your platinum credits and why? Ease of use, most used airline, or other reasons? So, a couple different things. So, I have 3 American Express Business Platinum cards, and I'm going to showcase my tracking sheet right here just so we can see it together. I know I've been pulling up this tracker sheet like crazy. So each of these comes with a $200 airline incidental credit. And honestly, what I've done over the years is, as I have multiples of the same card, I actually select a different airline for each of these. The only reason why I do that is because you get a 35% points rebate regardless of the class you book with your selected airline. So, for example, last year I selected one of my platinum cards had Delta, another one had Southwest, and I think the last one was JetBlue. So I had $200 on each, but I also had 35% off each of those airlines. So I traveled the most last year with Delta, followed by Southwest. So you can imagine that I was utilizing those credits pretty rapidly. How I use those credits, I travel once per month. So I genuinely utilize those credits for fees and taxes on the flights, but also just other types of fees as well, upgrading my seat maybe from economy to Delta Comfort when it makes sense to, and things like that. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't fly United's not really popping out of my airport in Providence, so that's why I don't use United. But if you need to, you can select United as your airline and put that $200 towards the travel bank. For me, the travel bank doesn't really make sense because I have one flight out of my airport with United. So, there's only so many travel credits that I actually need there. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind. Yes, I've had over 90 credit cards. I'll show the travel freely before we hang up here. Rodrigo, did you have the old discontinued City Prestige card? And do you think you'll apply for the new City Strata Elite card? So, question one, no, I never had the City Prestige card. I didn't have it, but I wish I did. That card came with some ridiculous perks that if I was traveling for work the way I am now, that card would have been money, absolute money. And of course, I'll definitely be applying day one for the new City card, and same with Wells Fargo. I think they're expected to have a card as well. Oh snap! Okay, you're at the lounge. Have a drink for me. Cheers. I'm not feeling well, so I'm just drinking some hot tea, or excuse me, hot lemon water. But have a drink for me, and awesome. Safe travels. Okay. Happy New Year to all of you as well. Gerald, Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Tips on learning how to patiently wait when you can't commit to a minute. Let me read this in my head really quick. I don't think I understand the question. Can you retype it in, or just put it in the comments and I'll answer it after the video? I definitely want to make sure I answer this one, but I'm not sure I understand it, to be honest with you. I'm so sorry. Oh dang. Thanks for stopping in, John. Be safe, be warm out there. Filmo, I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you all so much. We got one more minute left. I'm just making sure I covered most of these questions. Happy New Year to everybody. Okay. I think I covered all of the questions. So, again, thank you so much for joining the first live of 2025. It's so weird even saying 2025. Today, I covered 2 free resources you can implement. The first one is Apple Reminders. And let me just showcase it really quick. Apple Reminders to track all of your credit card perks so you don't let anything go to waste. It will sync directly to your calendar so that way you remember exactly when you need to spend these credits down. So, for example, I've already spent down my Hilton quarterly credit that I get with my American Express Business Platinum. Likewise, I've already spent my $200 with Dell, things like that. I try to spend most of those credits that reset at the beginning of the year, pretty much the 1st and 2nd of January. So you'll see I've already made some progress on things like that, such as these airline incidental credits. So Apple Reminders. Item 2 is travel freely. And let me pull that up. Travel freely is the second thing that I covered today. And again, you do not need to sign in with a username and password to each of your banks to utilize travel freely. That's what I love most about it. I've had well over 50 credit cards. It's showing 91 cards here. So absolutely insane. You can take a look at some of these. It shows when I applied for them. And absolutely insane. If you're interested, no obligation, please help me out. I'm a newer YouTuber and I don't have any sponsors. So I appreciate the super chats. Never needed, but much appreciated. I have just not affiliate links. I have links down below for my most commonly used products around my house, my travel gadgets, such as my tablet. A lot of people have been asking me, like, can I get one of these like credit card binders? Go ahead and grab that from the description box down below. If you're interested in using travel freely, I have a referral link down below. If you're not using Travel Freely or something to track your credit cards, you're wrong on that and you need to fix it for 2025. It's January, so let's start now. And I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think I covered everything. So thank you so much for your time. Video coming out this Wednesday on every single card in my wallet. The next live stream will actually be on February 2nd, 2025 at 11:30. So if you're interested, please come on by and let's talk about my new job and what I've learned thus far. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Be safe, be healthy, don't be like me. And, if you're feeling sick, get better. Bye for now.